Hi, this is Sarah. In this lecture, we will discuss the complications arising from the use of intravitreal injections. The learning goals of the present course are to describe the complications arising from the use of intravitreal injections, to identify the risk factors, and to understand the measures to be taken to reduce the rate of complications. Currently, intravitreal injections are the most frequently performed eye procedure worldwide. Anti-VEGF agents are the most commonly used medications. Other medications that can be delivered intravitreally are corticosteroids, antiviral agents, antibiotics, and antimetabolites. Although the procedure is generally well tolerated, the presence of even sight-threatening complications is possible. Endophthalmitis is a very feared and serious complication. Its incidence ranges between 0.016 and 1.9%. Staphylococcus is the most common causative microorganism. The most important preventative measure to avoid this vision-threatening complication includes thorough antisepsis, with the application of povidone iodine to the periocular skin, cornea, and conjunctival sac. The use of a speculum and face mask, careful preparation of injection, and treatment of blepharitis are considered essential steps, too. The use of post-injection antibiotic drops for the prevention of endophthalmitis is controversial. Early diagnosis and treatment with intravitreal injections of antibiotics are of utmost importance for the prevention of permanent vision loss. The rate of intraocular inflammation ranges between 0.4 and 2.9%. It can be difficult to differentiate it from endophthalmitis. Symptoms appear quicker than in endophthalmitis, in which pain and other symptoms and signs are more prominent. Every case of intraocular inflammation should be treated as infectious endophthalmitis. The risk of rhegmatogenous retinal detachment is low. It ranges between 0 and 0.67%. Its cause is the induction of posterior vitreous detachment. Preventative measures include correct site of needle insertion at 3.5 to 4 mm behind the limbus and an angled insertion of the needle to avoid trapping of vitreous in the needle track. An acute rise of the intraocular lasts a few hours. It is more common in glaucoma patients. Different mechanisms have been proposed, such as trabeculitis, blockage of outflow by debris, and damage to outflow from chronic trauma. Some patients may require treatment for high intraocular pressure, therefore, measurement of the IOP in all patients receiving intravitreal injections should be a part of clinical practice. Subconjunctival hemorrhage is the most common adverse event with a rate of 10%. Intraocular hemorrhage is very rare. The discontinuation of anticoagulants is not advised in order to avoid this complication. The systemic side effects are due to systemic absorption of the drug and are most commonly associated with the administration of anti-VEGF agents. Anti-VEGF agents were independently associated with higher likelihood of thromboembolic events, such as myocardial infarction and stroke. Hypertension and gastrointestinal perforations have been reported as well. Deterioration of renal function, especially in diabetic patients with already existing chronic kidney disease, may be observed. Initial reports showed increased risk with ranibizumab and bevacizumab, but recent studies have shown that all anti-VEGF agents have similar safety profiles. The rare side effects include anterior ischemic optic neuropathy, retinal vascular occlusions, hemorrhagic macular infarction, development or exacerbation of ocular ischemic syndrome, sixth nerve palsy following bevacizumab injection, rare systemic events including formed visual hallucinations, as well as erectile dysfunction and acute decrease in kidney function. Finally, let's see the complications in specific diseases. In patients with proliferative diabetic retinopathy, there is an increased risk for tractional retinal detachment, and impairment of retinal arterial flow has been observed. In age-related macular degeneration, there is an increased risk of retinal pigment epithelium tears. The risk is higher in large and fibrovascular retinal pigment epithelium detachments. In retinopathy of prematurity of stages 4 and 5, as well as in Coats disease, there is an increased risk of tractional retinal detachment after intravitreal injections. On this slide, you can find a few references for further reading. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this presentation on complications of intravitreal injections, and please don't forget to run the self-evaluation tests of the lecture.